Hello, this is your weekly space news roundup from Giant Leap, the UK's space news outlet, read by me, Philip Day. In today's episode, 2 government departments launch Nanosat design competition for beginners. We'll discuss how to win and get your design launched to space. Orb Astro have signed a service agreement with Newspace pioneers Digantara for a 6U satellite. The UK government lead the way at the UN on combating threatening space behaviours. The Horizon Europe Space funding call is now open. Prestwick Spaceport announced 1 year until they start works on new infrastructure, and OneWeb employees shed tears of joy as their live system connects global families. Today's Job of the Week comes from today's sponsor. I'm delighted to say that this roundup is sponsored by Mace Group, the London-based construction company which achieved net zero carbon emissions in over 70 countries last year and delivered the National Satellite Testing Facility at Harwell Space Campus. To find out more about Mace's incredible work, values and ambitions, head over to macegroup.com. Thanks for supporting the UK Space News, Mace. By choosing to support us through sponsorship, not only do you get a shout out for your business, but also the hashtag Job of the Week is yours by default. As a result, stick around to the end to find out about some exciting UK opportunities at Mace Construction right now. Now's a great time to check you are subscribed to the channel, and please do like this roundup too as we go along. You can find out more about us on our website giant-leap.space or our Patreon page accessible via patreon.com/giantleap. Nano satellite design competition launches for 2021. 2 government departments have teamed up to deliver a chance of a lifetime prize for a talented satellite designer. Aspiring space scientists are invited to design a small satellite to help inform solutions to climate change. The UK Space Agency and Department for Transport, supported by the Civil Aviation Authority, have launched a competition which will see entrants competing for a share of £600,000 towards actual satellite development and manufacture for launch from a UK facility as soon as 2023. Speaking to inspire the young among our community into a career in our space industry, the Transport Minister, Trudy Harrison, said, "As we enter a new commercial space age, this is a remarkable opportunity to design the technology of the future and be part of our all-important fight against climate change." The competition will be judged by a panel of experts and is open to entries from people aged 16 and over, with no requirement for previous knowledge or experience in space at all. That being said, there is no upper age limit, nor any requirement for entrants not to organise. I highly recommend a team approach and foresee stiff competition from members of UK SEDS, the UK Student Space Advocacy Group. If you're school-aged and thinking of taking part, then forming a group activity at school with help from your science teachers would be really useful. You'll need to carefully plan and research how satellites are already made and what sensors might be useful in learning more about the climate. You could look at the atmosphere, measure sea temperatures or ice thickness, rainforest coverage, sea life populations, and more. One idea, which I don't think has been well covered by industry already, would be to specifically track and measure plastic so-called islands as they float through the oceans to see how they impact local temperatures and ocean flows. Giant Leap is particularly keen to help secondary school age entrants and teams, so if you're thinking of taking part, drop us a comment and we'll try to help you on your exciting journey. Orbital Astronautics have signed a service agreement to provide a 6U CubeSat. Digantara and Orbital Astronautics have announced a service agreement for space debris tracking mission on a 6U satellite. This agreement between international Newspace pioneers will pilot a cutting-edge in-space debris tracking technology and service which the companies hope will model behaviours of the future. Dr. Ash Dovjay is CEO of Orb Astro. Over the coming years, to enable the space traffic management aspect of our Guardian network service, we're going to become reliant on partnerships with companies like Digantara. The Guardian network is an on-orbit data relay service which will provide connectivity between orbital assets of the near future, and will no doubt form plenty of UK space news in the months to come. The UK mission to the UN chalked up a quiet but important victory this week. Whilst almost all political eyes have been on Glasgow's COP26 conference this week, the UK mission to the United Nations were able to encourage the group to adopt our stance on promoting the responsible use of space and combating threatening behaviours. The UK resolution calls for a working group of all nations to identify threatening and irresponsible space behaviours in an effort to further the mission known as PAROS, standing for Preventing an Arms Race in Outer Space. James Cleverly is the Minister responsible for space security. "Space systems are central to global security and prosperity," he said. "The prevention of an arms race in outer space is a UK priority. There's no doubt that there's a growing range of threats to space systems and a risk that those threats could lead to miscalculation and, in turn, escalation and conflict. The European Commission opens a series funding calls for space. 11 different grants are now open for funding as part of the Horizon funding call to promote and support research and development. Topics include low-cost, high-thrust propulsion for launch vehicles, a number of Copernicus-related fields, orbital operations, space transportation solutions, and more. Each of the calls is open until February 2022 and comprises a single-stage submission process, keeping things clean and simple. Prestwick Spaceport provide a glimpse into the future. Scottish spaceport contender Prestwick Spaceport, on the outskirts of Glasgow, which is already Europe's most prolific satellite manufacturing city, has set their sights on becoming Europe's premier space cluster and a launch facility for horizontal launch company Astraeus, based in the USA. The Astraeus model includes flying C-17 cargo aircraft, unmodified, from the airfield and launching their space vehicle from altitude to fly itself to space. Prestwick Spaceport has significant industry traction already and strong backing too, including from government. They're finalising the conceptual design now for their spaceport infrastructure and cluster buildings, which are expected to begin construction works as soon as sometime late next year. So let's keep our eyes peeled for news on that front over the coming months. OneWeb employees tear up with joy as their live system brings families together next. The Giant Leap membership promotion is almost complete. This week is your last chance to join us on Patreon for as little as £1 per month for a chance to win some free space merch. So head over right now to patreon.com/Giant Leap, where you'll gain access to Discord, me, and more membership perks regardless of the competition. UK satellite communications giant OneWeb enjoyed success this week. OneWeb team members in London decided to put their systems through its paces this week, making calls entirely using the OneWeb network. Colleagues made video calls to family members across the globe, prompting tears of joy as they experienced an emotional validation that their system is ready to go. They've also recently announced some further speed figures for their aircraft connectivity options and individual satellite bandwidths too. Each satellite will deliver 8 gigabits per second, which allows for hundreds of megabits per second to each aircraft that it will service. To give an idea of just how fast this is, it's about as fast as the very fastest home fibre broadband. Multiple devices, streaming HD content can be supported. This means a very fast and uninterrupted experience for business jets, or a pretty wholesome, probably not HD, experience for airliner passengers to be serviced from each individual satellite. Of course, the overall configuration of the service and the users themselves will impact the way that we will experience this connectivity, but considering the whole of the Earth's most remote community on Pitcairn Island has to make do with a small percentage of spare bandwidth from a scientific mission itself based there who maintain an Inmarsat connection, this means that whilst the approximately 50 people on the island all share just a few megabits per second connection today, so long as the price is right, they could easily supercharge their connectivity with OneWeb over the next few months and revolutionise the experience for the island's school and recreational communities. Mace is a construction company like no other, with roles today specialising in constructing for aerospace applications. Current roles in the UK number 273, so we're going to have to select just one or two to feature for you now. As a result, this week's hashtag Job of the Week is for a mid-level information manager role to be based at Heathrow Airport in the Mace Air team. They're looking for a digitally savvy person who can build lasting client relationships and lead strong, motivated teams. A project management background is key alongside a hunger to grow your career and enjoy Mace's opportunities. Mace recently published results showing a net zero carbon emissions worldwide for 2019 and their business purpose: to redefine the boundaries of ambition. If that sounds like you, check out this role linked in the description or use the same portal to find over 300 other roles across the globe. Of course, this role and more from this week are already posted on our Discord server. That's you all caught up. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify or anywhere else there's a like button, please smash it now. It's a great way to ensure Giant Leap gets the support we need to continue bringing you the news. On social media, we're using the hashtag Giant Leap, where we usually post several times a day. If you'd like to be a part of it there, come and join us there. Thanks for checking in, and until next time, remember that every giant leap is set up by thousands of small steps. You've been watching a giant-leap.space news roundup.